Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. So today we're going to get to splitting. Over the last few days I have been accumulating a ton of rounds here and I need to get caught up on the splitting. If you're new to the channel, I've got an Eastonmade commercial splitter. It's their model 1222. I've got a 4-way wedge, a 6-way wedge, and a box wedge to go with it. We just got done with Splitter Wars 2020, and during Splitter Wars I used the 6-way wedge, but we've got some pretty big rounds here today, stuff in the 20 to 22 inch range. And that size log is perfect for the box wedge. Before we get to splitting, I want to show you the stockpile of wood I got to get through, and then I've got a new piece of equipment that's going to make moving the splitter around a lot easier. So here's a lot of the smaller stuff that I've gotten over the last couple days, and then down over here is where all the big stuff starts. You can see I stopped stacking it because there's no way I could lift these on top of one another. A lot of rounds here. All this stuff's going to be perfect for that box wedge. So yeah, like I mentioned, we've got the Eastonmade 1222 commercial splitter on here, and right now it's got the box wedge. This splitter with the normal 4-way wedge on it is about 2,100 pounds, and the shipping weight of this box wedge when it came in is 400 pounds. So this splitter weighs roughly in with the box wedge around 2,500 pounds, somewhere in there. And I have been moving it around with the Polaris Ranger 570 side by side, but that machine only weighs 1,100 pounds. And I've actually gotten stuck a couple of times trying to pull it with the side-by-side just because this log splitter is twice the weight of the Polaris Ranger. So I needed to find another way to move that splitter besides the Polaris Ranger, and my choices were the Toyota Tacoma or the Coyote tractor. And I'd much rather have the option to be able to raise and lower the hitch than have it fixed like in the back of the Tacoma. So what I ended up getting was this fork-mounted hitch receiver that goes on the front end of the pallet forks here. I considered a couple other options. I know Hank at Hamiltonville Farm, he mounted a hitch receiver on his quick hitch. I thought about doing that. And Dan at Back 40 Firewood did a bucket mounted hitch receiver. I thought that was kind of cool, but it looked like he had a little problem with getting it to actually stay on there if you wanted to pull backwards with it. All right, so this might seem pretty self-explanatory, but all it does is it fits right on your pallet fork just like a sleeve. And then you want to take your chain and wrap it around something sturdy on the back of your pallet fork. Make sure you got it tight and then hook it up to your chain, just like that. Now with this chain here, that's going to prevent it from sliding off if you're pulling backwards with it. It does not come with a hitch and ball, so you're going to need to either buy one of those on your own, or if you already have one, then you're good to go. All right, so there we go. Now we are all set up and ready to split. If you noticed, I had the tongue on this side. I moved it to that side so when the wood comes through the box wedge, it can pile up here, and I'm all hooked up here on the Coyote tractor. So whenever I get a nice mound on that side built up, I can go ahead and just turn the tractor on, lift this leg up a little bit and pull it forward about 3 feet, and then do it all over again and work my way all the way down that pile. So let's see how far we get today. Well, there you go. That's about an hour and a half with the Eastonmade 1222 with the box wedge. That box wedge is absolutely perfect for these larger diameter rounds, especially with this red oak. I would venture to guess that probably 60% of the logs that come out of there are perfectly square, just like this. I mean, it's incredible. I'd guess that probably, you know, another 20% is going to be good firewood chunks like this. They're not going to be perfectly square, but you know, you got some triangles and some other stuff. And then you probably have about 20% of scrap, you know, stuff like this, some kindling mixed in there. So anytime you have a multi-wedge, you're going to have some scrap in there that you really can't use for much other than, you know, just throwing in the burn pile. But anyway, yeah, that was the first time that I tested out the fork-mounted hitch receiver. It actually worked really, really well. The only thing I did notice is that my pallet forks are very skinny, and the sleeve that fits onto is probably 2 or 3 inches too wide. So it does kind of want to shift side to side, but nothing that's gonna, you know, cause any safety issues or anything. It's not gonna come off. But yeah, like I said, this Eastonmade 1222, probably in the neighborhood of 2,500 pounds, something like that. And you know, if you're planning on pulling it with a side-by-side, you can do it. I've done it, but I've also gotten stuck doing it. So you might want to try to have something a little heavier to pull it with. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, check out some other videos, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.